It's coming.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining us here once again in this beautiful space. Today for our Co-Creating Consciously Collectively series. Today is episode 7 with Rhonda Thomson, who I'm so happy to have here with us today. And today, this episode will be talking about integrating all we have learned into every moment of our lives. And I absolutely love this topic because to me, integrating all we have learned into every moment of our lives is really what I feel our ascension, where our ascension is at right now, in the sense that we've learned so much and have prepared for such a long time, and now the time is come for us to step out from behind the scenes, to shine our light and to embody what we've learned into every moment, I feel. So just with that, I'd like to bring in Rhonda to introduce herself, and then we'll dive on in. Rhonda?
Thank you very much, Chris. I do appreciate that. And it's such a privilege and a delight to be with both you and Anastacia this morning. I'm not sure, do you want me to start by talking about the topic, or what would you like to do?
Sure. Yeah, just go with the flow, Rhonda, and what you feel, and we'll flow from there.
Lovely. Look, the reason I'd like to talk about this is because it's something that really helped me in my own personal development and spiritual development decades ago. I used to, like many of us, go to meditation groups and go to workshops and all sorts of things. So you'd go to those on the weekend or Monday night or whenever it was on, and then you'd go back into the workplace. And at the time, I was working very much in the corporate arena, and I had this divided life, you might say, where I did all these spiritual things, shall we call them, at the weekend. And then I'd slot back into the workplace during the week and business. And what I found over time was that there was something just not clicking properly. And part of it was about balance, certainly. And it was also about being authentic and transparent as well. And once that just all clicked to me, that what I needed to do was to actually integrate everything that I've learned, and I've been learning for a very long time, everything that I was learning and experiencing at these workshops and all other things that I was attending, and really bring that into my life in the workplace, in everything that I did with friends, with family and everything else. And once I did that, and it was quite miraculous actually, because as soon as I did that, I started to grow exponentially. And the other thing was that I actually had some really good feedback from people as well, because at the time, at one stage there, I was working in a corporate situation with it, and I used to work with the two directors quite extensively. And they used to say to me when I'd go away for my intensive weekend.
Can I just take a break and a pause, Rhonda? Thank you. I need us to take a breathe and a breath. I need to anchor it and ground in some new energies. And I'm seeing a brown and green dragon energy. And for those that are not aware of our energies, what we bring through, Chris and Rhonda know how to work in with myself with the energies. As the three of us are coming together and bringing our energies in, it creates and opens like an energy portal. And the biggest message for today in us coming in to share what we're doing is to breathe for everybody right now in this moment, because what also comes in with each beautiful, amazing guest that chooses to share their wonderful energy with us. That was amazing what you shared, Rhonda, about incorporating everything in your life. And my role and purpose here with us today is to slow these energies down, for us to take a breath and see brown and green energies coming in to help us anchor in and ground, what we call ground our energies more in through our feet. And if we wriggle our feet to anchor in what Rhonda is sharing in the human, and to bring a new link in from what we call spirit to soul, human, earth energies, as we embody what Rhonda is bringing and sharing with us, this is so important to anchor this in with what you're sharing, Rhonda. This is so, and because we're different to other people that have guests and people on, this needs to be different. We need to slow down, because I want to understand more behind of what you've already shared before you share more.
Okay.
And we don't often have an opportunity where we can go, oh, so you want to know more. This is different. We don't do interviews, hey, and this is for other people that are coming in fresh. So Rhonda, I would love to hear about what you said again. And Chris, I'll let you run with this with Rhonda, as I'll just keep working with these energies about what Rhonda shared in the email, Chris. I'd love you to have a look at that and because you shared at the beginning that this is so important about integrating everything that we've learned. And there's something needs to shift here. Chris, I'll hand over to you with this now.
For sure. And real quick, Rhonda, I'd like for you to expand on what caused the shift within you. Like, how did you feel that certain, within to actually start
let's get into the
integrating?
nitty
That's
gritty.
what I'd like to, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you can expand on that.
Absolutely, certainly.
Thank you.
What was actually happening was I was closing off one door and going into another, and that was happening on a regular basis. But once I decided just to leave that door open so that there were no walls, there were no doors, I didn't have to move from one to the other. I didn't have to be different, didn't have to act differently in any situation.
That's
I just
big.
became that person.
That's huge. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why, because I even see with clients these days, once they actually do that, if I talk them through that, over time, all of a sudden they go, aha, oh, I get that.
When you say clients, what do you mean clients? What are you doing in that area?
Oh, I work with sacred energy alignments, and which is a modality that I've created. And I work with people to shift their fears, habits, and beliefs energetically. And what that does, it creates pathways for them that are clear so that they can move into the life that they choose and move away from.
I'm feeling your heart and higher heart. You haven't had a chance to really share. It's really nice to hear you say that, because the word sacred and energy, there's a lot behind what you're doing. You're not just, because Brenda, what's come to me this morning, I was seeing some ads on Facebook about these spiritual courses, and you do this course and you do that. And it reminded me, because we're coming on with you, and I'm like, and this is where we're bringing through something different, new from behind the scenes. It's deeper. It's deeper than those words alone. And hearing you share, I can feel that's a passion. I can feel your passion, and the heart here is activating everybody. Right here is what's activating, is Rhonda sharing, because the unseen and the hidden behind the scenes energies, when we come in here and talk and choose to talk together, is something new for all of us. To bring our personal energy here with you all. And thank you, everybody, for coming. I just need to shift those energies. When you said that, Rhonda, a big energy shift is coming in for everything that you're bringing through. So I just want us to take that breath again. We tilt our head back. It's called a galactic breath. Grounding in more, anchoring in more. We have so many beautiful souls here at the moment. We have Penny, we have Grace, we have Fiona saying, Jennifer, good morning. David Kepler, hola. Johnny Rizzurli, beautiful. Rachel, Tarika, Diane, Marty. So we just want to take a moment and welcome everyone's energies in. It's really important. Again, this is an important co-creating of not just us three. It's all of you that join here. We are bringing through a brand new platform for all of humanity. Again, thank you, Rhonda, for bringing your sacred energy in here to this space, because Rhonda, you have a very old and ancient energy. And you came and visited me, was it a year ago? And spent time, and boy, that was at a major time of when I was staying in the city, where there's a major ley line conjunction of energies to do with financial abundance and abundance for the planet. And boy, two world energies really came together. So I just want to say that the energies that Rhonda, and I suppose I want to vouch for, validate, mirror back, give my opinion, whatever words you want to use. I just really want to honor you for your sacred energy. It's so old and ancient. It is beyond the words of us saying this. So when you say sacred energy, what was it? Sacred energy alignments, was it?
Alignments, yes.
You really mean sacred energy alignments. And I just need to bring a light and attention to that beautiful energy, Rhonda.
Thank you. Thank you.
Add something real quick, Anastacia?
Not real quick. Take your time, go.
Okay. and there's been just a couple of times that you slowed Rhonda down, and I feel that her energy is really incredible, you know, and I feel that for us all to be able to uptake it, to not miss what she's truly saying and getting across, I feel that's so important. So yeah, the slow, and that's not only with Rhonda, that's us working with energy daily, right? Is to stop and take that breath and to uptake, you know. That's
a big release off all energy chakra centers as you spoke, Chris. Thank you. A big release from all chakra energy centers as you spoke. Yes, it is a reminder because we haven't had a platform before where we can be real, honest, raw and real in this way. And to bring our behind the scenes forward is a really big thing. And I keep saying it's a big thing because it is. And people go, you know, when they come in, it's, and others that have done videos, I don't think people realize that it's to go onto video and hold a video. But when you actually come on, what happens in this space, and it's important that I bring this to everyone's attention now, is this energy then goes out to the world and the ethers. So showing up is enough. But yes, Chris, all of us needing, and that's why we're holding these every 2 weeks for the rest of the year, for everyone just to take a break and a moment to feel that raw and realness. Okay, there's more coming through. Chris, is there anything you want to share? I'm just clearing that now. Whew.
Actually, I'm okay. Are you ready to go, Rhonda? Do you have anything
Certainly.
you'd like to expand on further?
Look, I could just keep on talking. I mean,
keep going, girl. Keep going.
But look, thank you, Anastacia, for that acknowledgement. As I said earlier, the acknowledgement that you gave me a year ago and then today and then this morning is absolutely beautiful and so appreciated. So thank you very much. And yes, I just see with what's happening everywhere and with people I'm working with and things like that, that we all need to go within, as you say, and work on ourselves. And we are changing things. And it's so powerful if we just stop and believe, and as you say, to slow down and just see what's actually really affecting us personally.
Oh, wow.
Because so often I'm finding that people are so caught up in everything outside there. And when I sit down and I say to them, okay, let's take a moment, and how are you feeling right this moment? What's really affecting you right this moment? And so often they say, well, actually, I feel quite good. And I feel quite calm.
Wow, that's it. That surprises me, because to stop and slow down and look inwards, I see people with the opposite, that they haven't stopped to feel because there's something niggling at them. So I'm surprised that you're telling me that there's people are saying that. This is good.
Well, and just to give you another example, someone might come to me and they're talking about all sorts of things going on in life. Doesn't matter what it is. And I'll listen to that because it's important. They need to get that out. And then, you know, when they say about all these things happening around them, and I'll say, okay, now we're just going to take a few moments, and I want you to not think, as you would say in Anastacia, I want you to feel. And I say to them, what do you really feel at this very moment? And ask from the heart, what do you feel? And 9 times out of 10, they could have been talking to me about all sorts of horrid things at times. But once they stop, take a breath and really feel into it, they said, yes, I feel calm. And I said, yes, you do, because all of that is outside you. It's not within you. And you have a choice whether you dip your toe into that out there or
but Rhonda, I also feel that, and Chris, work with you in this, I also feel that because they've shared with you and everything, that's helped them to reach the calm, Rhonda. I feel, because honestly, first off, people to me are not feeling that I feel that that's part of your magic of helping them to go through to the calm and the peace. That's what I'm getting from that. Chris, what do you get?
Yeah, totally. I feel like with your energy, Rhonda, they feel that safe, sacred space to share. And in doing so, and it's like Anastacia says, it's actually showing up in voicing. And in the voicing is where the true release comes, I feel.
And your beautiful mother energies, your beautiful mother and goddess energies, that's your gift, is you're helping them. I just got to say that, Rhonda. I just got to honor you and say that's what I see. And so that's showing live. If someone's called to work with you, Rhonda, you'll help them to reach the peace and the calm. That's what I got from all of that. Are you saying they already felt it? I'm like, no, I reckon that you helped them get to that peace and calm. But what a beautiful gift. And that's because you worked through so much of yourself and you said you went to many workshops and group meditations, and you did a lot. You worked on yourself a lot. This just didn't come overnight for you.
No, it didn't. And it's interesting. I think you've mentioned Lisa Transcendent Brown recently. Now she talks about remembering. And I remember having a teacher many years ago who did a meditation class, and she used to say, we are angels, we are remembering. And it's so true. We're actually not learning new things. We are remembering all those skills and those things that we have learned as knowledge.
On a higher level, on a higher level, because that's got to be broken down, and that is ultimately correct.
Absolutely.
I'm not telling you, I know that you know, I'm just, but on a higher level, because I'm anchoring the human in a new way for everyone that's coming today. It's a new anchoring. This is very exciting, holding this anchoring as you bring your amazing energy and to gift us and bless us in humanity, Rhonda. So that's why I'm really thankful for everybody that comes in, because this is helping humanity and the planet. And so so it's taken decades for you to get here. Okay, there's a big shift happening right now with you just saying that, Rhonda. Whatever that is, we are just clearing clear energy through our center columns right now is coming through. See clear energy come through. You have a very high angelic energy, and there's that filtering process, Rhonda. It's just coming live to do this healing on your energy, and I know that's why you're here. Because if we don't show others and show up from behind the scenes, what is the fucking point if we're not real and honest? So these masters that come in are so brave, because they're allowing you guys and girls watching this to be bare. Rhonda is in absolute divine faith and trust that I will honor her and not reveal anything that is not meant to be, that is private, yet she's showing up to clear her vessel, and it's clear column of water through our center. Because if Rhonda doesn't come and allow this to happen publicly, and if Chris doesn't come and allow the raw realness publicly, and if we don't get our shit together from behind the scenes, well, what I often say lightly, what hope has everyone else got if we are unable to show up in our raw and realness, you know? So Kay Withers wrote, Rhonda, I so agree. I've been working on myself since I was in high school. I'm now 60 years old, awake and assisting others to open their hearts and find all answers there. What a beautiful comment Kay just wrote, Rhonda. Beautiful. She's so Kendra's sister there. She's so, and it takes time to grow into that maturity. The golden wisdom of you souls that have been on the planet longer than me. I always give respect to those that are older than me in human years, because of the more time you've been here to experience, because you can't have this in your 20s. It takes maturity and years. It takes, what is it, the 20 years of an apprenticeship, Rhonda, so to speak lightly, of a spiritual apprenticeship. You really, like when I shared that before, you agree with that, don't you? I'm being guided to link in with this energy for younger souls here is what I'm getting. So that's interesting. Yeah, you really agree with that it takes time.
Absolutely. And the thing is, we don't know what we don't know. So as
I love that saying. I've been saying that more lately. We don't know. You don't know what you don't know. Don't relax, chill out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And with that also, there's when you're younger, there's an impatience, because And in my experience, for instance,
I must be very young, Rhonda, because I'm still totally, I understand, but I'm still totally impatient. I've just had years to learn how to deal with being very impatient.
Yeah,
But anyway, but you're right. Yes, I know you, darling. We're so similar. But I do know what you're saying about the younger ones with that impatience. Yeah, they're yet to learn.
Absolutely.
Sorry, darling. Keep going.
Oh, that's right. And the thing is that as I learned myself and came to certain, shall we call them plateaus, you aim for something and you achieve, supposedly achieve it. And then all of a sudden you're there and you look around and you think, yeah, but there's this all. No, it's not all. There's another mountain ahead, shall we say. And it's really, to me, we never stop. It doesn't matter that age is not a thing with me. It's just about that willingness to expand and the willingness to grow and the acceptance of it as well. Because too many people strive without accepting what they can do and what they're able to do this moment.
I like that last bit.
And that's
we just need to pause for a minute. It is very important. Just need to pause the energies. There's a shift happening. A big shift of our whole diamond with all our facets is getting slightly polished right now, Rhonda, because we're just shifting into another part. So we're just getting a big. And Chris, did you want to run with the next bit? Do you want to take a moment? Sure. Do you want to lead into because I'm getting to need to go into another little bit and shift the energies and breathe a bit. Shana wrote boom. David Kepler, Shirley McLean woke me up in the 80s, David says. Lisa said, thank you, Rhonda, for sharing your energy today. Much is coming up for me to look at within. So Kay said, thank you, beloveds. Okay, I'll just pause and take a little moment for myself, Chris, and I'll let you fill into where to go into the next part with this. Wow.
Okay, and so what I'll go with is, so I'd like to say, Rhonda, for you, I feel like you're just such a great example of integration because it's like you said, you've spent so many years, working on yourself to go through these different workshops and do these different modalities. But the thing is, you integrated the work. There's a lot of people that tend to find and try different modalities and jump around, but when it comes to the integration into the human, they're kind of lacking. And
integration, I like the word integration, Chris. Yep.
And what I feel is like by you doing this work, your clients receive the benefit as well because they're feeling that from you and they're feeling that embodiment and so in that space they're able to share with you. And I feel like that's just so huge in the work that you've done and over the years, because it really has been a journey, for like Anastacia says, for those of you that are longer in years and that have worked through heavier energies, because ascension now isn't what it was back then, so yeah.
Absolutely.
And then also in your email, you put also that it was all about energy. Those around me also commented on your benefits or your growth, so it just ties into that so perfectly. I love that. And
maybe if I explain that a little more.
Go for it.
I used to go away for an intensive weekend every 3 months. It doesn't need to say any more than that, but we would do a lot of growth in that weekend. And at the time, I was working in a corporate situation, and I'd go away for these weekends and come back because it was usually interstate. And the two directors that I was working for at the time, one of them said to me one morning after I'd come back, he said, you know what, Rhonda, he said, I don't want to know what you do when you go away. He said, but whatever it is, keep doing it, because we get the benefit of that too. And later on, it was interesting, after a while, they actually used to pay me to go. And they still didn't want to know what we did, didn't want to know what it was about. They just knew, and they wouldn't understand what we were talking about this moment, okay? They would have no concept of that. Lovely people though, not criticising. But they actually really acknowledged that they could feel that what I was doing, and that was the acknowledgement for me of the integration. It was like I'd integrated quite a while before then, But that was like that seal of approval from someone that had no idea whatsoever of what
unconditional love is unconditional love, guys. Isn't that? I just was going, this is the unconditional love, and it doesn't matter what you do, what you say. Anyone coming here today, if you don't understand the words, just take a moment and feel the love.
That's all it is. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And after all, even Albert Einstein said that the only thing in the universe was love. That was what it was all made of. And it's just so true. It's so true. And yet I think as we grow and as we're trying to walk on our path, we're always striving to do something more or different or change things. And every now and again, we just need to sort of sit back and look at, hey, where are we now? Where have we come from? You know, look how far we have come. Look how much we've learned. What can I do with what I know this moment, rather than worrying about doing lots of other new things.
Yes,
Wow,
and
that's
Rhonda,
big.
real quick, you have here also, and I feel this ties into it, that in many years, decades actually ago, you finally accepted all was part of you, and there was nothing in separate boxes, that your growth really accelerated exponentially when you realized this. It was this a big catalyst as well for you in getting you to this point?
Absolutely. And that what I wrote there was it was really about that integration. When I finally did integrate everything, was that nothing was separate. I didn't have a separate home life or separate work life or separate, you know, growth or workshop life.
Yes,
It was
yes.
all,
This
it
is
was
big.
all part of me, all part of me. And yes, at different times, parts of that would go quicker than others and things like that, but that didn't matter. It was really about the overall energy.
Oh, wow.
The ebb and the flow of living, because you have a very strong shaman energy come in earlier too, Rhonda, came through for you. It's that ebb and the flow and living, and as you said, a lot of them probably wouldn't understand a lot what we're saying, but it's, may I just share, Chris? Is that all right? Did you want to go with something?
Go for it. No,
that is the embodying and living the Christ consciousness, unconditional love energies in every facet of your life. And it takes a while to grow into this, as you said, Rhonda. And it's not saying that others younger than us in human years need to wait decades either, because we're in different ascension times. And that was and there's people older than us, we're in different ascension times, and people before that. And we just honor. Fiona wrote a comment honoring you and your wisdom and your energy. I appreciate your wisdom, especially for those of us yet to step into our highest divine career path, because it's not a career path, it is our passion. It's what we'd love to do, and it's a further extension of us showing up where people feel that, and that's where you're at, Rhonda. And Fiona was acknowledging that. So there's been another big shift coming. We're shifting a whole paradigm right now, everyone. It's everything is now wobbly and unstable of the old, and I just see like a big Inca energy, like a big Quetzalcoatl energy. I'm just seeing a big wheel turning right now, shifting into a whole new paradigm of energies. So for those that are not aware of the spiritual or the energies we work with, they'll be thinking I'm wacko here and I'm moving my arms around and talk about new paradigms and whatever. Just go with the flow. It doesn't matter. You don't need to. And Chris, when you were talking before, was a further, I just moved my hands, was a further upgrade of our energies, chakra energies. When you spoke before again, that was 2 waves of cleansing our chakras. This is all the unseen, behind the scenes and high up energies that I'm working with and feeling that Chris and Rhonda, due to, yes, they do know me, they do know these energies that you just need to feel. You just need to feel. You don't always have to have the words and put the words to the energies, but this is that living, that Christ consciousness that everywhere you go. Because I also, Rhonda, in my time when I grew into mine was putting on, it helped me to go, this is my hat with this, because I had so many different, and then over the years I struggled because a lot of people I'm finding are struggling at the moment with, I don't know to explain who I am or what I do. And I just laugh because I struggled for over 15 years saying, I don't know. And it was like I'm Blu-ray, and then I'm a Blu-ray elder, and then I'm this and then that. And then in the end, it was about incorporating all of that for the whole of me, that all of me, there was nothing in separate boxes. It all was a flow, an extension of me flowing. And I'm just saying, it takes a little while to go into and find and feel that flow. Maybe not for others, different generations, different, but for me, it has taken me a while, Rhonda. So thank you so much for writing that. And Chris, thank you so much for extending further on that, because that really, for me, blew everything out of the water. That was so big, that bit about when I finally accepted all of part of me. And that was a bit you honed in on, Chris. I'm so glad you did, so I could just bring in that further energy shift with that. That is one sentence, brought in all that energy. Massive.
Could I just add something else to that?
Absolutely.
Well? I find many people feel as if they're still looking for a purpose or a
Good
role
one.
or a job, you know, and they feel, because they're on, shall we call it, the ascension path, that it has to be in that arena. But can I guarantee that that is not so? It could be a cleaner who works in a university, as an example, who takes the time to talk to people as they arrive in the morning, the teachers and the professors and things like that, and speak to them in such a way that gives them some sort of joy. It might be a shop assistant who speaks to people and actually listens. It could be someone working in an office that brings a beautiful energy into that office that calms down what used to be a frenetic energy. So it does not matter what job or role or corporate situation or business or whatever it is. We can still be our, for want of a better word, spiritual self in any situation. And once we actually start to live it, it does not matter where we work to get the money to put the food on the table, because we can be this person in whatever role that we're in. So I do hope that that's sort of settling.
That was amazing.
Yeah, you go, Chris.
Yeah, that was amazing, Rhonda, because yeah, that's it. That's living in divine service. And the line that comes to me that Anastacia always says is, just show up and be yourself, you know, that's enough. And it's really growing into that more fully. And yeah, I totally felt you as you said that. Those words were golden. Thank you.
Because people feel lost and displaced, and it is about, did you ever take a moment, because I'm in 100% with you hand in hand with that, darling. Did you ever feel for a moment that you're in that town and that city for a reason, to bring the light into that place just by being you? And that's something over the years. Yeah, you go.
Yes, I felt that for decades, really. And like, I live in Darwin, in Australia at the moment, have done for 2 years. Not a place that I would have ever expected to live. And yet I know the longer that I'm here that I have been almost placed here, shall we say, because of the energy at the moment. And as you probably know, Anastacia, I've travelled to many places around the world, and when you brought in that Inca energy, I have been to Machu Picchu, I've been to Egypt, all those places. And every time I've gone to one of those sacred sites, it has actually changed my life. But you don't have to go there. Please don't feel as if people need to go there to experience all these things. That's was my choice. That was my choice to do it that way. And every time it has actually changed me, because I've been able to anchor in those energies from those different places, and they have carried through with me through my life. So yes, arriving in here in Darwin, or living in Queensland, which I did for many years, and Western Australia, etc. I know each time there's a reason why I'm drawn to those places. And if I use my logic mind, I would never have done or been or visited many places that I have. I lived in New Zealand for a number of years, and I look back at places that I lived there and the energy that I experienced, even though I wasn't totally aware. But when I reflect and look back, I realized there was so much that I was gaining in my spiritual growth from being in those places.
I'm seeing a new sunrise and a new egg with an old shell and darkness moving away. The old is falling away for whoever needs this healing vision right now. Wow, that was beautiful. Bringing all that energy through to us, Rhonda, from being all over the place because you embody it. And before we came on, I said I really validated you from above and said I say grid worker, but it's not the term grid worker we know. For outside, it's the unseen energies that, as I was saying, Di Udzi, New Zealand, who came on before, she also feels and embodies those energies where she goes very deeply, Rhonda. And just you sharing and bringing your energy, talking, just brought in this new clearing of an old, darker, ancient energy, releasing off us all right now. And it was like a new sunrise and a new egg rising with the old removing. That's what just came through when you shared all of that, of your beautiful energy. There's so much to when you talk and share. It just takes me a moment to clear all these old ancient energies. That's why I'm really thankful that you're able to join us today to bless and gift us all of you, not just being you and your beautiful energy. Thank you so much. You are a golden treasure, a hidden gem that has been quietly and for decades, and other people that are writing, and David and Kay with us, just, you know, just I see you guys. I honor you all for what you have been through before us, the different energies at different times. I mean, goodness me, in the mid-'80s when I was my spiritual awakening 26 years ago, we were looked like evil witches. Even then, you know, it's just all this stuff has been hidden, and it's just really remembering who we are. Yet all these terms and the labels and all that sort of stuff. So full circle from remembering who we are, that's the final removal of that healing of your energy, sharing that, Rhonda. This is massive. It is like a cataclysmic from a previous planet energies we're healing today, as well as what's coming through. There is a lot here. There is a lot here that's coming through with you, Rhonda. This is really pretty big life-changing energies here right now. So I'll keep going with just clearing that. Chris, I was about to say, if you could go,
and I'll just throw in that how beautifully, like, the realization is in growing into ourselves, in that accepting that our energy does have a great impact wherever we go, you know, and we're drawn to these places. Like, I'll say for you, Rhonda, you know, that didn't come from the mind, that came from your heart to go to these places. And not only did you receive something from there, but I feel like as part of your journey, you were meant to go and work in these places as well. Absolutely. With your energy. Mm-hmm. So it really is like growing into that sense of understanding that we do have an impact wherever we go. And as we live in Christ consciousness, living in service 24/7, you know, we can really just let that come through in us showing up and just being ourselves, you know.
Gifting to choose, not living in service as in the old energies, is really important, that we're shifting as well, isn't it, guys? Is that living in service is different. That is done. We don't, and we're changing. You said the last 2 weeks were really full on, and excuse me, I felt the throat clearing before. Rhonda, can you share a little bit more, if you don't mind? I know you don't mind. Is what's coming through, and then you know, in the next 10, 15 minutes, we'll be winding up, and I like to give a heads up, but I really would like to for you to share about the energies you felt at the shopping centre. That's what came. Chris, is there anything else that you're feeling to run with at the moment?
No, I feel that'd be perfect to go into. Yep, totally.
Thanks. Yeah, what you shared about the energies with the shopping centre is really important to share.
As with many of us, we pick up other people's energy. It goes without saying. However, I was explaining just before we came on to Anastacia and Chris that yesterday I went to the shopping centre just to get some exercise. It's too hot to walk outside here because it's always hot. And anyway, I was walking through the shopping centre, and I felt really good when I arrived. But as I walked through, I just had some really strange bodily experiences, shall we say. And at one point there, it just ran through my head, heavens, how am I going to walk back to the car? Because my whole body was tingling. And I knew it was about energy. I mean, it goes without saying, I understood that. But it wasn't the energy from people around me or the actual energy around the shopping centre that I was feeling. It was really bigger than that, because I'd done my processes and things to walk in there. It was the energy coming into Earth at the moment. And it's definitely coming in and changing us physically as well as energetically. And it's about, to me, it's about being discerning and understanding that, and not just going into, well, with me, this is physical, oh, what's the matter with me? It's understanding it and running with it, and working out how you can embrace it in a way that is comfortable as possible. So anyway, I did get back to my car quite well, and I immediately
Can I just
drove
pause
out.
for a minute there? That's massive. I know you're going to say you drove, but that what you just said, we need to pause. Say that a bit again. That is too big to miss, that one. We need to.
Well, it's about being discerning and not going into, oh, woe is me, you know, I've got, you know, a sore leg or whatever, a headache or whatever the case may be. It's actually really tuning in and feeling into, hey, what's going on here? Is this me physically? Am I picking up on someone else? Or is it something bigger? And
that's important.
I mean,
that is really, 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 it's easy to say it and then people hear it, but I'm asking everyone to slow down and to actually physically, because the last place we feel is shift, it's spirit, soul, mental, emotional, and physical. It's letting you know something. And there's a lot of people I'm talking to, Rhonda, is about now, will you now to address it from the physical upwards? You need to slow down and feel further, and don't keep ignoring it. Don't just keep writing off and ignoring it. Yeah, that's important.
The other thing that I've very much learned in my lifetime is that, of this lifetime, is my body is a barometer. And it follows on from what you're just saying. My body is a barometer. So when there's something in one part of my body or another happening, it's always an indication of something is happening in my life or something that I need to work on every time. It doesn't go every time. Anyway, yesterday, going back to that, I did get back to the car just fine. And I drove straight to the beach, because I find water or just being by the ocean is just my serenity, and it brings me back into balance. And even if I don't have the time to do much else, even if I drive along the waterfront or the beachfront, even that is just so soothing. As soon as I see that water, I just feel this overwhelming, beautiful.
I said that yesterday. I was saying to Chris the other day, I need water. Absolutely. Even exactly what you said. Isn't that amazing? That just that Atlantis energy, isn't it?
It is. And I know in my lifetime the different places I've lived, I've always got to be near water. If I'm not by the ocean, when I lived in New Zealand, I lived by Lake Taupo, for instance. So I always had to be near a body of water.
Wow, and I grew up in inland New South Wales, dry. I couldn't wait to get out of there, and I come straight up to Queensland in the Air Force. I just had to be near the coast, near the water. Is just that calling. Chris, do you feel that at all?
Yeah, I don't like to be in open water, but to be around water. I can't go in
deep water. No, I'm scared of the deep water personally, but
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, truly. Yeah. Oh, I could tell you stories.
Another time. We'll do another version of this. It's, need to know basis.
Anastacia, I'd like to say something with the energy though, real quick, that you gave us, that I feel is so important. I loved it when you gave it to us last week. And that is, when we're questioning if the energy is ours, it usually probably isn't. Or that's a tell that we're picking up on, more than just. We've
got to be careful with that.
Is that okay with it?
It is, but you keep finishing, and I've got to be careful with
that. Can you fine tune that maybe?
Okay.
where it's where it's energetically right. Yeah.
Beautiful. Just I want to say before we go, because we will be winding up after this bit. There's been very big energies here today, and I'll let you wind it up with Rhonda after I share this. So yes, I did say in the private 144 Facebook group that many of us in our human embodiment, growing into our what we call our mastership, growing into being a human earth ascended master, okay, big words, I know, is you get to the point that you've worked on yourself for so long, you have questioned yourself, doubted yourself, put yourself down enough that you grow to a point that if you start now questioning, is this mine or is it someone else's, immediately know that it's someone else's. That when you're living in that pure divine, which is different to what Rhonda was saying, yes, that is a process. This is taking it up that next level, Chris, with you saying that is, and thank you, because it must be needing to help someone, is that if you question yourself now, know that there is old doubt and old 3D energies, and straight away that it's someone else's. That will save you a lot of stress, a lot of time of this fake anxiety. Okay, so obviously I need to talk about this fake anxiety. I've been keeping it to myself. I haven't written and shared it like I used to, and I did that deliberately because of misunderstanding of the interpretation of what I'm sharing is beyond words. So you've outed me here, Chris, live publicly. I don't mind. I'm happy to share that because we're raising the vibration. So there is this linked with the false anxiety, Chris. This is linked with the false anxiety that we are so many of us, deep empaths and what we call blue rays, indigos, is that we are questioning ourselves enough. So if you find that you question yourself, is it mine or is it someone else's? Stop and know it's someone else's. And when you're true to you, you will finally feel free in a new freedom when you do that new process. Isn't it interesting that this came through live to deliver? This is big. That is really big, what I was just delivered there. So as Rhonda brings herself forward, I bring myself forward a bit more. Thank you, Chris, for that. I'll catch up with you about that later. No, I'm joking. No. Did that help? Is that what you wanted, or I just took?
That was
just
perfect.
Really...
That's exactly what I was trying to get across. Yeah.
Okay, people need to know about. Why do people need to know about that, Chris? Rhonda, did that help? Okay, Rhonda, did that help you me sharing that? I want to hear. Did that help you me sharing that?
Because that's certainly another aspect of what I was talking about, and it is about that discernment that I mentioned. It's getting to that stage where you actually understand to even ask that question: is it mine or is it not? I actually don't ask anymore, if you know what I mean. So
yes,
it's getting to that stage, and I'm sure you understand what I'm saying there. But yes, and it needs to be explained in many different ways. Like I talked about it in one way, you talked about another way, and Chris asked that question. And that's really important because everybody takes in information in a very different way. And it may be just one word that each of us said in that conversation on that topic that will all of a sudden go, for someone that is actually watching this.
Yeah.
So each one of us have an impact and an assistance to others in the way that we express things or even ask a question. By asking a question can actually solve someone else's dilemma.
Or bring light to a new light to a situation of what was a dilemma, is bring new light in the way that that person spoke. And that's why voicing and showing up. Now we're finalizing the energies now. See a big tree in the center. You are a tree. The brown column here with the green branches. Rhonda, thank you so much, my beautiful sister, for coming in here today and enriching our lives. And we have Kay that wrote, you guys are so awesome. Thank you for the gold. And Anastacia, thank you for the clearing and upgrade. So Marinella wrote, wow, Rhonda, love that, can relate. Thank you. So thank you, blessed sister, for coming in. Before you sign us off, Chris, I want to look at who we have in the next 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure it is Miss Marinella, who is here right now. watching. Anyway, so in 2 weeks' time, a second, I'm nearly there. Yes, Marinella, I am enough. Getting back to myself will be number 8 in 2 weeks' time from today. So thank you again, Rhonda. And over to you, Chris. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. 2 weeks for the rest of the year. We are bringing in a beautiful soul to help with humanity's ascension, that you can stop and have a break. So over to you, Chris. Thank you, Rhonda. And thank you, Chris.
And I'd like to also thank you all for joining us and being here. As like Anastacia says, you're really a huge part of this as well. And it's just an honor to be here with you. And it's been such a pleasure, Rhonda. You've just shared so much beautiful golden messages today, and your energy is amazing. And I just thank you from the bottom of my heart for you showing up here today with us. And I wish you all the best moving forward, sister. Thank you.
Bless you. And look, it's a total pleasure and privilege to be with the both of you. And if we didn't have people watching, we wouldn't be here doing this. So
Correct.
Everybody is important. There's no one bigger, better, or anything else than anyone else. And thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you. Good night and good morning to everybody. Bless. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Thanks, Rhonda. Thanks, Chris.